Many of President Trump's nominees to top government positions have been questionable, but perhaps none more so than his choice to head the Department of Energy, Rick Perry, who once wanted to abolish the very agency he's now leading. So we decided to take a break from the breaking news of the day and see how he's been doing. It's time for the check-in. Now, most people were probably surprised that Donald Trump nominated former governor of Texas, Rick Perry, to lead the Department of Energy, as he was once Trump's rival in trying to get the Republican nomination for president in 2016. In fact, Perry even called Trump's candidacy a cancer on conservatism. And Trump countered with some of his trademark insult comedy.
I see Rick Perry the other day, and he's so, he's doing very poorly in the polls. He put glasses on so people will think he's smart. And it just doesn't work. People can see through the glasses. But he's got the glasses, the whole deal. Oh, Trump, huh?
The list of reasons to dislike Trump is long, I know, but I'm going to add the laziness of his impressions. That could be anybody. Meanwhile, you got Marco Rubio. Then Ted Cruz is like. Now, the great irony in Perry's nomination, perhaps lost only on Trump, is that the Department of Energy is one of the agencies Perry said he wanted to abolish back in 2011 when he was running for president. That is, before he forgot, it was the agency he wanted to get rid of.
It's 3 agencies of government when I get there that are gone. Commerce, education, and the, what's the third one there? Let's see.
You can't name the third one?
The third agency of government,
Yeah.
I would do away with the education, commerce, and let's see. I can't. The third one I can't. Sorry. Oops.
Now, that should have been it. That should have been the last time anyone saw Rick Perry. Once you Bill Buckner a debate like that, you should be the answer to a trivia question at best. The only thing worse would be if you straight up didn't know the voting age or when Election Day was.
Those of you that will be 21 by November the 12th, I ask for your support and your vote.
Oh. No, it's 18 to vote, and Election Day was November 6th. So we didn't know the agency you wanted to abolish or when Election Day was or what the voting age is, but surely Rick Perry knows where he is at any given time.
There are many other states that embrace those conservative values, the approach that we've taken over the years. I'm in one today in Florida. You look at South Carolina, you look at Florida.
Here's Louisiana.
Okay, but that, guys. I know it seems like we're piling on, but that has to be the most embarrassing clip of Rick Perry. What's that? There are more? How many more? Thousands more. All right, well, let's just go with one more for the sake of time.
Rick Perry!
That's the guy currently in charge of our nuclear arsenal. No, not Vanilla Ice. Vanilla Ice would be a step up. Now, you would think that Rick Perry would take the time to familiarize himself with the kind of work the Department of Energy, whose budget exceeds $30 billion, does. But according to the New York Times, when then-President-elect Trump offered Perry the job, Mr. Perry gladly accepted, believing he was taking on a role as a global ambassador for the American oil and gas industry. In the days after, Mr. Perry discovered that he would be no such thing. In fact, he would become the steward of a vast national security complex he knew almost nothing about, caring for some of the most fearsome weapons on the planet. Imagine finding out after you accepted a job that the job description included managing nuclear weapons. I got pissed when I found out mine included animal segments. So Perry accepted a role he was confused about and then somehow made it through the confirmation process. Although we shouldn't be surprised, as the Senate also confirmed Betsy DeVos for Secretary of Education, already resigned Tom Price for Secretary of Health and Human Services, and a haunted doll as Secretary of Commerce. But we would hope that once he officially had the job, Perry would try to learn more from someone like his predecessor, Dr. Ernest Moniz, a nuclear physicist. Interesting fact, Moniz became a nuclear physicist when his high school guidance counselor took a look at him and said, "It's either that or Ben Franklin impersonator." But according to a source cited in a Vanity Fair report from July, Perry barely spent any time with Moniz. According to the reporter's sources, he writes that Perry has no personal interest in understanding what we do and affecting change, a DOE staffer told me in June. He's never been briefed on a program, not a single one, which to me is shocking. But in Perry's defense, he doesn't really need to be an expert in nuclear energy when his boss already has such a good handle on it.
You know what uranium is, right? It's a thing called nuclear weapons and other things, like lots of things are done with uranium, including some bad things.
Perry saw that and thought, oh, he's already up to speed. We're good. But reports started surfacing back in the summer that Perry had fallen out of favor with Trump and that Trump was actually looking to replace him, which is also when this happened.
Russia's messing with U.S. politicians again, but this time it's Russian pranksters. And they tricked Secretary of Energy Rick Perry into believing he was having a conversation with the Ukrainian Prime Minister.
That's right, Russian pranksters pretending to be the Prime Minister of Ukraine managed to have a more than 20-minute phone call with Perry. A 20-minute prank call. Even the jerky boys would say, hey man, this is fun, but we have places to be. Now, we don't know for sure how Perry recovered from that and won Trump back over, but it may have something to do with Perry's new controversial energy proposal, which would basically force consumers to subsidize old, failing coal and nuclear power plants that would otherwise likely be obsolete. According to reports and analysis, this plan would cost U.S. taxpayers about $10.6 billion a year and prop up some of the oldest and dirtiest power plants in the country. So why provide this preferential treatment to aging industries at the potential expense of millions of consumers? Well, according to reports, Perry's plan would provide a windfall for a small group of companies, most strikingly one owned by coal magnate Bob Murray, a prominent backer of President Trump. Yes, Bob Murray, the litigious coal tycoon, who apparently needs this administration's help so much. Reports say that his company, Murray Energy, has publicly acknowledged that its future depends on whether Perry's plan flies. Oof. Imagine finding out your whole livelihood came down to Rick Perry. It's like when the Vietnam War came down to Forrest Gump. But it's not just Perry. Of course, as with other government agencies, Trump has made other questionable hires at the Department of Energy, like bringing in Eric Trump's brother-in-law, Kyle Unaska, for example. Unaska, who's the brother of Eric Trump's wife, Lara Trump, was recently promoted to the position of Chief of Staff for the department's Office of Energy Policy and Systems Analysis. Sounds like a pretty important job for someone who must have an impressive background in energy policy. Well, according to Newsweek, Unaska's alumni page from college doesn't mention anything about energy or energy policy. His LinkedIn page also made no mention of experience in the energy industry. Okay, fine, but is there anything else on his resume that shows he's qualified? Let's see. Oh, there. Reports say Unaska was named one of Washington, D.C.'s hottest bachelors by the syndicated news magazine Inside Edition in 2013. And there's a picture. That's him on the end. Now, for someone who works at the Department of Energy, it's not exactly reassuring that he doesn't even have the energy to get off the ground. So we have inexperienced leaders seemingly beholden to special interests and family members getting top jobs at the Department of Energy. So at this point, if something goes wrong, the only explanation I guess we should expect is, what's the elegant phrase I'm looking for?
Oops.
That's what I thought. This has been The Check-In.